Minor spoilers for the Star Rail Penacony arc, especially around the Dreamjoy memoir event and the lore of the history of Penacony. At this point, I feel like my videos are known for their engaging hooks, but I believe I've outdone myself this time. Today, I present to you Hook, everyone's favorite Bellabog hero, the leader of the lovable moles, former Ethereum Wars champion, Pitch Dark, Hook the Great. Hehehe, you've just been hooked. Hello, internet people. Miss me? Normally you wouldn't see me so soon after an update, and don't worry, a 2.3 video is coming. I just need some time. And if you watched my last video about Black Swan, you now know why. In that video, I explained part of the reason why Penacony's really difficult to theorize about is here everything is a lie and everyone is a liar. With one exception. The only source on Penacony that seems to be anywhere near trustworthy is the Clocky cartoons, which according to all our current information, appear to be a sort of retelling of the history of Penacony. Sure, people's names and descriptions have been changed, and the events in the story have been told in a, I want to say a meme-y way, as in it has funny internet hieroglyph energy, not the psychological or memory zone kind. But they are, at their core, the very same stories. In the Black Swan video, I went through 2 of the 3 cartoons that are available in the Penacony bookshelf and lamented at length that there weren't more. Meanwhile, there was an entire Clocky cartoon event that I just freaking forgot about. In the 2.2 Dreamjoy memoir event, you act as an editor for a brand new series of Clocky cartoons, which have, up to this point, been written and supervised by the watchmaker himself. But now that no one can contact him anymore, it's up to the Trailblazer to bring them to their final form, and everything in this event is lore. There are 5 films in total, and all of them, except the first one, have a classic ending and a special ending for you to explore. There's even extra content centered around specific characters, so we can learn more details about the real-life people who inspired Brother Hanu, Mr. Soda, the Origami Birds, Old Man Wood, Hamster Ball Knight, and Boss Stone. Now, I already went through most of the thought processes of who's who and what's what in the cartoons in my Black Swan video, so this isn't strictly what I'd call a theory. Instead, I'm gonna walk you through the first film in Dreamjoy Memoir, but with everyone's real names intact and all the events described as close to what really happened as I can figure out. Just the first film for today, because these stories are actually super long when you suss out the meaning behind them. And for those of you who either want to critique my explanation of the event, because chances are I will get something wrong, or if you just want to follow along, I've put a link to the wiki in the description, and I've asked a friend along to help you guys. Everyone say hello to Mr. Box. Say hi, Mr. Box. They'll be helping by telling you where in the story we are and giving useful information where needed. And as always, if you find yourself disagreeing, or you think I made a mistake, or you have more information you'd like to share, put it down in the comments and we can talk about it. So let's get started. Before Mikhail landed on Penacony and became the watchmaker, he was just a young mechanic on the Astral Express, one of many under the guidance of navigator Falcon Amundsen. Together, the crew traveled from world to world, Lushaka, planet Scrulum, and many more, until one day, after being damaged in a particularly rough warp, the Express landed on a planet which had been plunged into an ice age by a dying sun. While Falcon and some of the crew worked hard to try and fix the Express, Mikhail befriended some of the people who lived on the planet and discovered that the Antimatter Legion was behind the fading light. Now, in the current Amber era, our wonderful Express crew are all skilled fighters, but at the time it wasn't the case. So instead of fighting, Mikhail and the crew evacuated the city and helped to hide those who couldn't leave. So when the Antimatter Legion attacked again, there was no one left for them to hurt. But this was only a temporary solution. The people wouldn't last long on a planet without a sun. The people themselves believed the planet was lost at this point and wanted to just leave aboard the Express. But with the Express damaged, that wasn't an option. In the end, to save the planet and the crew, Navigator Amundsen led the Legion away by flying high into the sky and detonating an explosion so big it both destroyed the Legion and reignited the planet's sun. Thus, Falcon Amundsen died a hero, but not before giving a distinctive pocket watch to Mikhail. A kid named Greenhorn stepped up as the new Express navigator, and the crew was able to leave the snowy planet with its new sun. And speaking of new, this video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. Today is a special occasion, and so you get Emma hands. It's my first sponsored video! I was so excited when I got this email because I wanted to try a Japanese snack box for so long, and they sent me 2. Both of them are very different. The one I'm opening up right now is the Tokyo Treat July box, which is themed Okinawa Snack and Oasis. So a lot of things in the box are tropical flavored or island themed. Some of these labels don't have much English on them, but each box comes with a really fun booklet that tells you all about each snack. I was most excited to try these clear gummies. They're actually grape flavored, and the look is supposed to be a little bit like water droplets, which is such a clever idea, and it definitely adds to the experience. But my favorite item ended up being the shrimp akiyage potato snacks, which at the time of recording this audio have been all swiftly devoured. They were so good. And I also loved this cheese chinsukou, which I thought was a little shortbread wafer, but no, it was flavored like cheddar and camembert cheese, but somehow was also a bit sweet. I am so confused, but I loved it. The second snack box is the Sakurako box, and it has a very different feel to it. While the Tokyo Treat box is very bright and exciting, this one feels a lot more aesthetic and sophisticated. But this is not me pitting the two boxes against each other at all. They are both incredible. It has this beautiful print on top and another booklet which tells you about each item, which is even more helpful because the Sakurako box is artisan themed and meant to support local Japanese snack makers. This month's theme is Festival of Tohoku. I didn't know anything about Tohoku before getting this box, but apparently it's the northern third or so of Japan's largest island, and it's absolutely beautiful. The box is full of artisan snacks, and it's also got this wonderful woven towel called a tenagui? Tenagui? Tenagui. It's got little cats on it. Neko-chan! But my favorite part is the tea they include with each box. This month is an Iemon Matcha Genmaicha, and I had mine with a little bit of honey. It is lovely. I ended up sharing a lot of these items with my family, and we all agreed the best item in the box was the Ibirigako Arare, which I didn't read up on before eating, but then was shocked to find out that it was actually radishes that were first smoke-dried, then pickled. Every person I gave it to, I told them they were radishes, and then got to watch their face go from this to this after trying it. It was so amazing, and everyone was asking how we could get more. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako want people to be able to experience Japan from the comfort of their own home, and while I'll have to wait a few more years before visiting and experiencing Japan for myself, I definitely got a taste of it with these boxes. If you want to try these items for yourself, check the link in the description. There's one for Tokyo Treat and a separate one for Sakurako. The boxes that I just showed you will be available throughout July, and then when August rolls around, there'll be new boxes, new themes, new flavors to try. So if you like the sound of that, or it's something you think a friend or loved one would enjoy, go check it out and use the code at checkout. I get a commission from each purchase, and you get a little taste of Japan. And now back to the rest of the video. Next, the Express visited the Garden of Recollection, where they run into another problem. The garden doesn't allow outsiders, but something about the location also makes it impossible for the Express to leave. Maybe it's in a nebula or a black hole cluster, something difficult to navigate out of. So Mikhail, who's able to pass as a local, sneaks into the garden alone to do some recon. And there he meets young Miss Rosalina. She has spent almost her entire life in the garden, but knows about the outside world because of the memories in the garden. And she's very curious about it. So Mikhail tells her about his adventures, and in return, she tells him about the memories she's studied, including things that could help the Express leave, and thus they become friends. As the time draws near for Mikhail to go, he finds himself wanting to bring Rosalina with him, but sadly has to return to the Express alone, only to find that Rosalina has snuck aboard on her own and decided to join the crew. The crew is so excited to have a new traveling companion that they have a big celebration, and Rosalina personally helps Greenhorn chart the Express's next course. But before they can completely clear the planet, the Garden sends troops out to attack the Express and try to bring Rosalina back by force. But surprisingly, the Garden's troops aren't prepared for travel outside of the atmosphere of their planet and begin to drift in space. Some of the crew want to abandon them there, and others want to straight up attack them while they're helpless, but under Greenhorn's guidance, they rescue the stranded soldiers from the vacuum of space, and seeing as the Express just saved their butts, the soldiers let Rosalina go and return to the garden without complaint. And so, Rosalina, Mikhail, and the rest of the crew continue their journey starward. Soon after, the Express lands on a more chaotic planet, inhabited by lizards? Yeah, I read that right. Lizards. The lizards tell the crew that they're being terrorized by a bandit who's trying to hurt their chief and burn down their village. So of course, Mikhail and Rosalina immediately promise to do what they can to bring this man to justice. His name? Galaxy Ranger Tiernan. Of course, this doesn't last long because as soon as Mikhail and Rosalina find Tiernan, he tells them that the lizard chief, the guy he's supposedly trying to kill, is actually the bad guy who's trying to burn down his own village so he can sell the land to the IPC. And Tiernan is trying to stop him. Good man. Mikhail and Rosalina return and try to explain the situation to the lizards, but the people are split. Half of them think their chief would never do anything so horrible, and the other half are ready to just live life under the IPC, because they're a major philanthropic organization. How bad could it possibly be? In the end, there's nothing the three of them can do to change the lizards' minds, and while Tiernan wants to stay and try to protect them anyway, in the end, he accepts that the fate of the lizard people is in their own hands, and joins the express crew as a guard. And from this point on, Mikhail, Rosalina, and Tiernan are rarely seen apart. They become the best of friends, getting into lots of trouble, causing the conductor no end of grief. It seems like their adventures will never end, until one day the express receives a request from the IPC to help settle a situation in the Asdana system, which Rosalina knows is the location of a prison and Tiernan knows is the epicenter of an ongoing war. At this point in time, the Express owes the IPC a favor, so they go to Asdana. The night before they arrive, Mikhail has a long, long dream about a sea of fire, a swath of darkness, a vast wasteland, and a glorious paradise. And thus ends the first film of the Dreamjoy Memoir event. Don't worry guys, I have every intention of doing videos for the rest of these films like I did for this one. This script was fairly quick and easy to put together compared to my other theory videos, so expect Film 2, Dreamscare Crusade, in the near future. In the meantime, don't forget to check out my other videos and check out Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. And I say this even aside from the fact that I'm making money, I truly do love their stuff and the company has been a dream to work with. I could not have asked for a better first sponsor. So thank you to them for sponsoring this. Go check out their stuff and I'll see you guys for the next theory video. Until then, stay safe, stay kind.